After I posted this video, so many amazing things happened for me in my career. I had been only making content for about 6 months before Lydia's wedding, and I was still feeling pretty insecure about bringing out my tripod at weddings because I felt like everyone was staring at me and I just felt really insecure. And at Lydia's wedding, I felt even more insecure because it was just a small hotel room, but there were a lot of people in the room kind of watching over us. So I felt really weird about bringing out my tripod, but I said, Selena, you got to do this. You have to get used to bringing out your tripod and feeling kind of weird that everyone's watching you. So I did. Like I said, I had only been making content for about 5 or 6 months, and I had one video that was at about 2 million views, and that was another bride that I had filmed. So I knew that people really like to watch this kind of content, and I was just starting my wedding season, so I thought, well, it's better to try it and see how it goes. We'll see what happens with this video. As I brought up my tripod, the photographer told me that I wasn't really getting the best lighting. I wasn't kind of filming right. I wasn't taking my photos right. And he was trying to show me how he thought that I should be doing it. I did it the way that I wanted to do it, thankfully, because I knew that this was the way that it had to be done. This is the way that it had to be shot in order to make her look her best. I felt very watched and judged. I had no idea if I had any good footage. I came home, edited the video, and I posted it on TikTok. I told myself that I was going to start prioritizing content, and this was a perfect example of how I could have just put my tripod away and been shy about it and then just carried on with the makeup application. But I didn't. I brought it out, and even though I felt really uncomfortable, I still did it. So I posted onto TikTok, and immediately the video went absolutely crazy. After a few years of being on TikTok, this has never happened to me since, but as soon as I posted the video, within a couple of minutes, the video just started going crazy. And when I say crazy, I mean it had about 1 million views within 45 minutes. So as the video was growing, I was getting tons and tons of followers. The next day I was actually traveling to another bride. I had to take a flight. It was about a 2-hour flight from where I lived in Ontario. And I opened up my phone the next morning and someone from Charlotte Tilbury had emailed me. She literally said, I saw the Lydia video. We want to start sending you our products. I had used some Charlotte Tilbury products in the video, but I didn't even tag them. They must have just saw it on TikTok. To me, that was crazy. I posted a video and within 24 hours, Charlotte Tilbury was emailing me, asking me for my address so they could send me products. And they actually sent me thousands of dollars worth of products over the next few months. My emails and my DMs on Instagram were just completely blowing up. Everyone was messaging me, wanting to book me. Even if it wasn't in my city, they were asking me to travel to them. I mean, I'm already a really busy makeup artist in my city, so I was already booked up for that wedding season, but the amount of people who wanted to book me was just crazy. The thing I think that really worked with that video was I had already been making content for about 6 months. So when I got to that time, when I knew I was going to have a really, really good video, I knew the lighting, I knew the angles. So start now. So by the time you get to that point where you have a bride that you're like, oh, this is going to be a really good video, you already know what to do. When I set up my tripod and everything, I did feel insecure, but I also felt like I knew how to film it to make it a really good video. I try and say this as often as I can, but if you are a small business, that means that you are a content creator. It's 2024. You need to be able to make your own content. I do branding photos about 4 times a year, but I can't rely on photographers or videographers to make content for me. You need to be making the content for yourself. That's also what your followers want to see. They don't want to see a curated video all the time, curated photos. They want things to be a little bit more raw and you to walk them through the process of whatever you're doing. The really exciting thing is that you can take one piece of content and turn it into paying customers. You don't need to spend money on marketing. You don't need to spend money on advertising. You need to spend money investing in how to make content and then get out there, get your tripod, get your lights, and start making content. That's what people trust. If you're working on a real person, transforming them, and they can see that whole process, there is nothing more valuable than that. And I can tell you that from experience because this is exactly what I did I had no clients, I had no business, and I took my business from 0 to 100. And I did that all because I learned how to make my own content. A few of my students have been making a lot of content and they were posting consistently, but it just wasn't the right types of content, and the content that they were posting wasn't very eye-catching. So just making those switches drastically has changed their business. All of the skills that I've used and that have worked for me, I've put into a course called Content 101. This course teaches you exactly how to make content, but not just content, good content. So get the course, start watching all of the lessons, and then start practicing, and you'll be 100% ready for wedding season when you have those beautiful brides sit down in front of you and you can start making viral videos.